Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's show, the Beautifully Bruised and CPS show. I am just, I had to come on today because there's some things that I definitely wanted to share with you. I think it'll be a lot of help and hopefully it could make you smile or laugh at the least. It would definitely be worth your time. I am your host, Latrika Jones, and I've been here cracking up with my producers. Just so, sometimes it's just the things that people can say that can give you a smile. It takes you out of whatever it is that you're going through in life. And we all have seasons, we have valleys, we have, different situations that we might be in. Whether we brought them on ourselves, it's just something that came about. But again, I do understand because I must tell you, well, first and foremost, anybody that watched this show, Beautifully Bruised in a CPS show, I always give honor and glory to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, because I assure you, with life's journey, I would not be sitting in front of you today because I have been through enough where honestly, I shouldn't be in this chair. So I don't take time for granted. You can't even take people for granted. Every day is a new day, and you thank God for waking you up this morning. So I definitely want to give praise and honor where it's due, and Attorney Vince to allow me to speak on this platform, and Grace, his producer, to help us come on here and provide useful and helpful information, hopefully encouraging information for all the listening audience as well. So without further ado, I won't be on here long today. I see Wednesdays as like Wednesday wisdom. Hopefully it can shed some light because I have also been a victim to CPS. I do know what it's like when your child has been removed. Actually, my child was removed while he was at school, and I know the horror, the nightmares that what that looks like. And I wouldn't honestly wish that on my worst enemy. When you go through something so terrifying and scary and uncertain, and my God, just it's a whole new world. And my heart, I have people that sends me information about stories, and I am going to have some more guests that will be on this coming Friday as well as next week. I do believe that when people share their stories, it goes out into the airwaves and people can really connect to it. Maybe they can relate to it, or hopefully you can learn something from it. I have people tell me, is this really true? Is these real stories? And sadly, I have to say yes. So again, you just have to again, I think the more our stories are heard and the more we stick together and come together and fight for a bigger cause, which is keeping our kids safe out of a system that is broken, out of a system that is corrupt, the more that we come out and share what we're going through, and it actually helps us to hopefully grow and learn from it and be better from it, and prayerfully not have to go through anything like that again, or altogether keep someone from even have to experience a CPS encounter, because I wouldn't wish CPS on my worst enemy. I mean, seriously, that's how traumatic and horrifying that it can be. So I won't be before you long. I just have a few things that I wanted to share. Like I say, since I've been doing this show, I have been seem to be under great spiritual attack. I mean, I'm laughing now, but I assure you, it has been, a true test, to try to get me to be discouraged, to get me not to do the show, or to, cancel whatever. But I'm like, you know what, devil, you are a liar. I am going to speak my truth. I am going to bring on as many people as I can to share what they are going through so we can bring more awareness to this system. And I'm not saying that everybody in CPS is bad. I'm saying for the ones that are operating out of no integrity, the ones that are being biased on power trips, that's being very personal, very petty, trying to do things just to be mean or to throw their power around and, use your kids as a pawn. Those are the people that I'm speaking in reference to. Those are the people that I'm calling out. So, but if you are doing what you're supposed to do, may God continue to bless you, because integrity is needed when you're dealing with such a sensitive matter, when you're dealing with these families and these children. So again, I just want to say that I have truly, I have been through some things, I want to say the last 2 weeks, that I had to sit back myself and be like, is this really happening right now? Like, is this really taking place? So like I said, I continue to keep going, because I remember as I was going through my CPS encounter, those were a lot of kickbacks. It seemed like things was happening back to back, and unfortunately a lot of people get so distracted and become so discouraged that they lose the fight for fighting for their children. And that's actually what the devil wants you to do. That's what the enemy wants you to do. He wants you to give up. He wants you to quit. Just don't pursue it, because you having to go through all your services. You having to attend, maybe your drug test, or you having to go through all these, your counseling, or whatever your services may be, or any additional service that you even may have. And you can easily get caught up in the mix of things. So I hope that today's show will bring some upliftment, encouragement to say, it's okay to take a break, but just don't stay there. My grandmother, I always say, she will be 106 on July 29th, and she is still alive and well. So much so, when I leave from taping the show, I'm going to go check on her at home, because she'll ask me, where have you been? So trust me, she's very alive and well and alert. But the great wisdom that she always shared with me, she'd say, Trika, you might give out, but don't never give up. And I think that is so essential, because again, that's letting you know it's okay to take a break. It's okay to reset. It's okay to go and take a nap or walk, whatever that, even I had my last guest by the name of Amber. She said that her doctor gave her some great advice. She said she wanted to go away on a vacation. And even though physically she might couldn't get away, but he said, won't you watch a movie, that a place you would like to go, whether it's Italy, Paris, France, any great, destination, and go watch a movie where they filmed the movie there, or it gives you, the feel of that location. And she did share, and surprisingly, and I'm going to do that also this weekend. Actually, it took her there. She watched a movie that was dealing with Paris, and it took her in that mind frame. So the goal is just to take you out of whatever your situation may be, whether you're stressed, whether you feel overwhelmed, whether it's anxiety. I get people sometimes that I notice that, when Grace, thank God, brings a lot of information with these different shows on this platform. A lot of watchers tune in and they'll share their truth. I am stressed. I am tired. I am angry. And again, it is good to share what you're going through, because if you keep all that bottled in, you don't want to do that. I'm no doctor, obviously, but I am a mother that, I do believe that knowledge is power. And I do like to read. I like to do research and read up on some things. And so I've learned, even studying psychology, that, it's good to get things out. Even if you have a friend or someone you can trust, share it with them. Even if you just journaling, writing it down, you will be surprised just to get that out of your system is very therapeutic. So that's why when the last guest, Amber, shared that, when her doctor told her, hey, watch a movie at the location where you want to go, and it literally took her mind out of whatever she was going through, and it took her to that place of escape. Netflix, as simple as watching a movie on Netflix. Google, what is it? I'm in Texas, and we have something here called Redbox. It's all, even a library, you can rent movies for free at your local libraries. So whatever your case or situation may be, there's normally, a way around it. So again, sometimes you just have to be creative, just whatever it takes to help you to get that break or that reset that sometimes is very well needed. Because I assure you, the things that I've been going through the last week or two, I'm like, oh my God, like, is this really happening? Because it's just been things coming back to back. And I know it's the enemy's trick of his assignment is to get me to be discouraged and to get me to, to just postpone or become isolated or quiet. But again, we all must know that the devil is a liar. So I said today, I'm coming on today. Even if I wasn't scheduled, to inspire, to encourage, to motivate, if nothing else, just to make you think, to make you laugh, to get away for a minute, whatever it takes. So that is my whole purpose of why I'm doing the show, because I know the devil don't play fair. He doesn't. He don't care who he used, what person he used, what obstacle he used. He don't care. But we must remain steadfast, and no matter what he throws our way, that we have to rebuke him in the name of Jesus and say, "No weapon formed against me shall be able to prosper." And I tell myself that on a regular basis, almost daily, to be honest, because again, you're speaking power, you're speaking upliftment, you're encouraging yourself, you're putting it in the atmosphere, and you'll be surprised how words can really change the trajectory of your day. Like I said, I was sharing with the producer Grace some things she shared to me that was positive, and it just made me smile. You're so busy trying to focus and get things done. Just a few words can go a long way, and a person may not even know it. I have a dear friend that she sends out morning devotions. I mean, like at 4:30 in the morning. And she tells me, "Is it okay to send it that early?" I'm like, "Yeah," because normally I'm sleeping at 4:30. So when I wake up, I have something positive to go to. So again, it's just, and those words just set the tone for my day. And I normally forward it out to people I think may want to read it, because it's just the little things sometimes that goes the distance. So I just want to share that. And again, I won't be before you long today. I just basically want to come on here to encourage you, to share some things that I went through, just basically one situation or story that stood out for me. And I do want to bring attention that this month, June, is Gun Violence Awareness Month. Okay, it is Gun Violence Awareness Month. And as we can see, it's so many different stories that has been taking place with gun violence, even here in Texas, Uvalde. I actually went and traveled down to Uvalde to pray with a lot of the people in that community, and me and my family. It was heartbreaking. I took my young son with me, and we signed the walls, and we prayed, and we held hands, and it just, again, it just took me seeing the school, seeing the location. It just goes to show you that you have to live your life and make it the best that you can. And seeing all those little young faces on the walls, and the teachers, and those beautiful people, it was just heartbreaking. So I just I care about things. I have a passion about that. Someone asked me when we was already in San Antonio, and they at SeaWorld taking my son, and I know at the time who I was with, he shared, he was like, "Do you really want to go down there?" And I'm like, "Yeah." I just have a heart. I just want to, I care. You can't cut that off, even if you want to. And just to show your support by letting them know that we care, and we're praying for you, and we with you. And, there's some other things to show my support. But to me, it matters. It makes a difference. So let people know they're not alone. So, but again, I definitely want to bring that to your attention. And the reason why is because with gun violence awareness, normally, uh, dealing with gun violence, it can be dealing with, unhealthy relationships, even toxic relationships, people that are known to be narcissists, that may not be, the most healthy people or individuals, as far as, mentally thinking and the way they do things. And normally these are type of people that can be toxic, because normally if you're dealing with someone that's causing an abusive relationship, whether it's physical, emotionally, whatever the case may be. If you're living with someone and your child is there with you as well, I have heard stories, which I'm sure you might have heard as well, that your children can be removed if you're dealing with someone, whether it's a personal relationship or a sibling or family member, and they have a history of abuse. I just want you to be mindful of, it's so important. I even had to make it known to myself, you have to be careful, even with the people that you keep in your circle. You can't connect to everybody. You have to, people you just want to help, and you want to see the good in people. But again, if this person is toxic, or they're making your atmosphere no longer safe, or even being threatened by CPS, I'm actually, bless her heart, I just received a call this week, within 24 or 48 hours. That has been her story, because of the person she not giving out too much of her information. Again, I do believe she did say she will be a guest on the show. She can actually share her own story herself. But due to her, unfortunately, the person she was with, CPS, if they find it to be deemed or assume it's unsafe, they will remove your kids. So, this is real. It's not nothing that you're doing. It's just the fact that you have someone with you that seem to be unsafe, and that can bring another CPS investigation into your life. And anybody know that have been through a CPS investigation or encounter, or whatever the case may be. I've been through one years ago. Even different investigations, by the grace of God, they were dropped, but still, you don't want that in your life. So I just wanted to, since this is something that came to me, I said, let me just make it more aware that, June is Gun Month, Awareness Month. Please be mindful of the people you bring into your lives. Make sure they're safe and healthy for your children. You don't want your children to get caught up in a scheme of things with CPS just because we might not be making the best decisions of the people that we have around us. So again, our children are our legacy. These are licensed souls. So it's very important that we do our part in making sure we do have the correct company. And again, I'm not telling you something that I hadn't. Also, I had to do a cleaning myself with them. My own location is, the people who you socialize with, because sometimes people are toxic and they may not even know it, but Maya Angelou always said, you might forget what a person say, but you never forget how they made you feel. So 9 times out of 10, if they're leaving you feeling in a dreary, not the best mood, or make you feel worse than that you did before you were speaking to them, you might want to reevaluate that relationship that you have. Because again, I do know that's something that CPS don't take lightly. Anyone, it's not, even if it's not yourself, that you're affiliated with someone that seem to be unsafe, unhealthy, violent, abusive, don't be surprised if you get a call from them. So just make sure you have a healthy environment, the right healthy people around you to keep you being the best version of you. And I want to also say this, and pretty soon I won't be long today, but I also want to mention that Brain Awareness Month. This is also, if you wasn't aware, June is Brain Awareness Month. And that is basically, some people that may be dealing with Alzheimer's or dementia, things of that sort. I have a special heart for them as well, because, your mind is a powerful tool, and when that is changing or shifting, it definitely changes the trajectory of your life. So I like to give awareness to this as well. And I also would like to share that even when I went through my CPS encounter, and I said this before briefly, that they ordered me to have a brain test. And let me tell you how much that brain test costs, because I think that's important to share. They ordered me to have a brain test that cost $10,000. That's how adamant they were with what they were trying to do. And by the grace and mercy of God, my counselor did share she wouldn't sign off on it because she didn't see the need for something so drastic, and it just didn't make sense with, they also, if you wasn't aware, they make you take a psychological evaluation. So I passed that. And when I passed that, I think I know they shared, the caseworker was like, well, maybe she's too smart. She knows how to answer the psychological evaluation. So now I'm going to order her a $10,000 brain test. I mean, I'm laughing now, but at the time, trust me, I wasn't. I'm like, oh my God, they're going to great extents to try to do to fit their narrative. But again, God is faithful. He is a protector. Like I said, the weapons may form, but guess what? They won't prosper. And I assure you of that, because I'm a living testimony. I am a living witness of everything they tried to take me through, the schemes, the plots, the oh my gosh, the pitfalls. Nothing worked that they tried. Me and my attorney at the time, she shared that. She said everything they're doing, nothing is working. So, just continue to keep the faith, keep going. And eventually, like she said, you might endure for a night, but joy will come in the morning. And that is exactly what happened. They were ordered to return my child back home where he belonged. Okay. So I just want to tell anyone that wherever you are right now in your season, in your journey of life, keep fighting for your children. Don't give up. I highly recommend a reputable attorney. If you can't get attorney Vince, try to find an attorney that knows CPS laws, that are aggressive, and that's willing to do the work to fight for you and your children to be reunited. Because that's what honestly, God put people in positions and places for a reason. And trust me, if you are able to utilize that um, necessary resource, in my opinion, I strongly suggested that you do so. Now, I know some people have one of their own. I tried on my own, and guess what? Why I hired an attorney. So again, I know it's not easy. I know it's not cheap, but some things are truly worth the sacrifice. And I cannot emphasize that enough. So, with that being said, so like I said, I'm about to wrap up the show actually, but I just wanted to share that this is Brain Awareness Month. Anything you're dealing with, stress, feeling overwhelmed, anxiety. Again, like we shared previously on the last show, counseling is a great alternative. Writing it down, journaling, just talking to somebody. You'll be surprised. Going on a walk. You'll be surprised how they relieve so much stress and bring the anxiety down and give you that reset that's needed, especially if you're dealing with a CPS case, and especially if you're dealing with a CPS caseworker who lacks integrity, because that can be even more challenging. And I know that for sure because I had witnessed that as well. So again, I just wanted to mention this information to you. I do know that my caseworker, I say this and I will get ready to wrap up the show for today. But I remember my caseworker told me this. She say, why don't you just go on with your life? And you know what? I was like, I was shocked that, someone would tell you that pertaining to your child. I had another guest that shared that her caseworker shared with her, well, won't you just wait till your child is able to look for you? I mean, seriously? Who want to miss out on their child upbringing and milestones and birthdays and graduations and marriages and new careers, college? And I mean, are you serious? So I just really think that it's interesting that, again, these psychological mental games that people play. And I just knew without a shadow of a doubt that I listened, I processed what she told me, and I just knew that my response was when she said, why don't you, when the caseworker shared, won't you just go on with your life? Isn't it something you always want to do? And I just remember saying, no, ma'am, I will not go on to my life until my child is back home. Okay. It's simple. So again, you have to stay encouraged. Don't let nobody come and try to misdirect you or keep you not focused. Don't be distracted. Do whatever it takes. That self-care to keep you encouraged so you can keep fighting for your children. Do not give up. They are counting on you. They need you and they love you. So no matter what, is taking place, I just want to come on here today and tell you to don't stop fighting for your children. They are worth it. Do whatever it takes for you to just keep yourself insane. If it's just going out for a walk, if it's reading the Bible, the word, my faith. I am not ashamed of my faith because the word say, God says, if you be ashamed of him, he'll be ashamed before God with you. And I don't want to be ashamed of me because he's too valuable in my life. So I just want to tell you, but for me, read the Bible, go on the internet, find something that uplifts your spirit, whatever it might be, a movie or a poem or just a show or anything that uplifts your spirit. Keep yourself in a good place. I hear so much mental anguish and illnesses and people are going through right now. And it's really taking a toll. I think that's why the caseworker tried to order that $10,000 test for me, because if it's showing that, whatever, if you are dealing with a mental illness, that's another way that they can keep your children or disability or of that nature. So do whatever it takes to keep yourself healthy, eating better foods, thinking better thoughts, surrounding yourself around better people. It just will make you better in the long run, most importantly for your children and obviously for yourself. So that is all I wanted to share today. Honestly, thank you so much for watching the Beautifully Bruised and CPS show. Keep God first. This platform is awesome and amazing because it's 24/7. Even if you feel down, discouraged, wherever you are, whether you got a CPS case, you under investigation, or you got a card, or you know somebody, or you just need to be encouraged, tune in, plug in to this platform. There's several shows and outlets, and I'm sure one should be able to connect to you in some kind of way. 24/7, we're always here. Take advantage of that. We're here for you. We care for you. I pray God to continue to keep you and be with you. And like I just say, don't never give up. Keep fighting for your children. Keep God first, and you have a blessed day. Thank you for watching.